Hey AfterBuzzers, welcome to another AfterBuzz show for Queen Sugar Season 1, Episode 7, In No Uncertain Terms. Make sure you stay tuned because we've got a special guest.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Clearly you do. It's been in your head all day. I just want everyone to watch these two boys dance right now. Okay, maybe not. Maybe they're doing too much. It's not that great.
Sorry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wednesday Night Fun here at Queen Sugar's After Show. Yes. I'm Tiana Hobson. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at the Tiana Hobson, and I'm joined tonight by my lovely, such a girly way of saying it, by my very masculine, yes. Awesome, great co-host.
Yes. Super butch weird. Yes. Hi, I'm Ryan Graham. You can follow me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's, Graham.
You can follow me at Owen with Omari on Twitter and IG. Also, hit me up on Snapchat at OmariB.
Don't nobody want to do that.
Right. You'll get some special pictures, trust me.
Weird.
Awkward. So tonight we have a very special guest joining us all the way from New York via Skype, Miss Ninja Devoe, aka Roberta, who was putting the moves all over Ralph Angel tonight.
Yes, Roberta.
That's right.
Doing the damn thing.
Thank you so much for joining us and for staying up late.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, I mean, Roberta. We've met Roberta before, and she was kind of all over Hollywood.
Right.
And then tonight, she was like, oh, hold up. Ralph Angel got himself a farm. Let me go over here and start talking to him. Now,
can you blame a girl? She's single, ready to mingle. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong.
That is true. She is out and on the prowl. What is Roberta's motivation? Like, what is she just like interested in the family, or is it Ralph specifically, or
is it the
farm? Or the farm?
Well, I mean, looking at him, he's chocolate. He's delicious. I mean, he's always in there, and I mean, he's just sexy. So Roberta likes to go for it.
We can't argue with you there.
Hey, do you have some water with you? You sound thirsty right now.
No.
I sound thirsty because he was just as much on Roberta as she was on him.
100% the truth.
That is what I was gonna say next.
Ralph
Angel has moved through a couple girls.
Yeah.
Like now, number 3, right?
Yeah, because I mean, first we thought he was gonna be with the teacher lady, and then Darla came back in the situation, and now Roberta's here. So
maybe Roberta will
That's
stick.
old. That's old news. So
Roberta might be here to stick. We don't know. We'll have to tune in and see where this relationship.
So do you think that she is done with Hollywood, or is she on to Ralph Angel, or is she just?
Yeah, she's definitely done with Hollywood. I mean, especially after tonight.
Right?
Glad she dodged that bullet. Good luck.
She missed it.
Oh, I love that. So one thing that Ryan, you kind of mentioned was, is Roberta in it for the family? Because she does kind of keep circling this family, first by going after Hollywood and now Ralph Angel. Does she just want to be a borderline West?
Well, West would be
West.
That's
not just borderline.
Yeah, it's just
borderline. I can't say that last name for some reason.
Is it the family, or can you reveal that secret to us? Do we know yet?
We don't know that yet.
Yeah.
You just know that they are always in my diner. I work there.
That's
I can't
true.
really help that.
Right.
So maybe it's them after you. Like we're
like why is Hollywood pulling up in his Escalade? Got his gold chain on. You know what I'm saying? Why?
He asking for trouble.
You're right. Maybe it's like maybe we're doing too much victim blaming. Maybe they're trying to set Roberta up. Yeah, maybe we need to think about this differently.
I mean, he was flirting with her just like Ralph Angel. I mean, so Ralph Angel tonight, the one thing that, he kind of said to you that I was kind of confused by, well, not confused, but just mixed emotions by, was when you walked in the house and you've got this lovely housewarming gift, if that's what we're calling it nowadays, for him. And he tells you to go clean up in the shower.
Yeah.
And then he'll come find you. Don't put your clothes
leave
back
all
on.
that off. That felt a little rude to me. I was like, Ralph Angel, how dare you?
What you saying, man?
Is he assuming that you're a dirty girl?
Yeah, what's going on?
No, but you know, I got off of work smelling like gumbo and crawfish.
Okay.
So nobody got time for that.
So you don't think Roberta was offended by that comment?
No, not at all.
She was ready.
I couldn't wait to get my clothes off.
Oh.
And who
Love
knows
it.
if he joined me in the shower?
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
Right?
No,
Yeah,
we don't know.
the camera did cut away. We don't know.
And he showed up looking nice and clean to the party
True.
afterwards, which
True.
he should have brought
Yeah,
you
I'm
to.
saying, why didn't Roberta
I'm
show up
just
to the
saying.
party? What's going on?
You know why. You know why. So I
There
wanted
you
to.
go. You wrong for that. I was busy. I was one and done. We don't all follow y'all around like puppy dogs.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
That's all I know. I don't know.
Okay,
It's
I
been
got
my
you.
experience. But I wanted to ask you just personally. You've been on a lot of different shows, and one of the things about Queen Sugar is this season all the episodes are directed by women. What was it like for you to have those women directors in comparison to some of the other shows that you've worked on?
It was great. I mean, my two directors mostly were Nima Barnett and Tina Mayberry, and they were both very welcoming. They were just very, how can I say? They just let me do my thing. They were very free. I mean, it's nothing bigger than working with the men. It just happens that they are now getting this opportunity.
Right.
And that's really the difference. No one's better or no one's worse.
Right.
It's just now
Just
women
more
are
of
getting
it.
the opportunity to shine and show that they can do just as good a job as the men can do.
That's
That's
beautiful.
awesome. No, that's awesome. And so you recently were on Luke Cage, which is like blowing up all over Netflix.
It broke
right now.
Netflix.
Yeah, it broke Netflix.
You broke Netflix.
Hey, girl. Go ahead.
Awesome building.
Yeah. What was that like? How like to be a part of such a great piece of Black history? Because like he's one of the first Black superheroes. So now that's coming to life. Like that is really cool to be a part of history in that way. So what was that like for you to work on that project?
That was awesome. It was awesome. First of all, I'm a native New Yorker. I'm born and raised in the Bronx, and grew
Okay.
up throughout different boroughs, and I grew up in Harlem. So the fact that we got a chance to shoot in Harlem, and just between takes, I'm walking through the city and the streets and 116th, and we're on Lenox Avenue. I'm just like, this is crazy.
Oh,
I'm shooting
yeah.
a show in a city in a borough that I grew up in. It was really dope. It was a great experience, and everyone around me was so talented, and it was just awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. Are there any other projects you have coming up that you want to like, little promotion here? What are you working on next?
The next one I'm working on is Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. That comes out
Nice.
Tom
October.
Cruise. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. So that one's pretty cool. I do have another project, but I'm not at liberty to talk about that.
Okay.
But it's produced by Oprah, so I'm in the
Okay.
family.
Oh, stay in the family.
So
Okay.
stay in that family.
I know. Well, shoot, that's awesome. We'll have to be checking you out, checking you out on Twitter and Instagram, and keep following you everywhere. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at let's see, what's my Twitter handle? I think it's just Ninja Devoe, and Instagram is Ninja Dope Devoe.
Oh, I like
That's an
it.
interesting name. Do you mind if we talk about your name a little bit, where that comes from? No.
Yeah, well, okay, my mother, so I'm Puerto Rican, so
Okay.
there's so many different things about me that just doesn't make sense, okay? So it's like Ninja Devoe and you a Puerto Rican from the Bronx, okay? All right.
Why not?
So my mother was watching a movie. Her and my pop was watching a movie in the theaters called Revenge of the Ninjas.
Nice.
And so she said whatever the name was, whatever it was, boy or girl, that was going to be the name Ninja.
Must have been a
I
good
like that.
movie.
That's a cool story too. Yeah. So
like that.
Yeah. So did your parents like hook up during the movie? And
Wow.
They were like,
Are you serious? That is so rude.
Okay, did I take it to a weird level?
Yes.
Line.
Wow.
Okay, I got it. Well, there's that.
Line
So-
in the
I
sand.
think I was already in the belly of that.
Okay, well then there you go. Well, yep. So now I know. Now, hey, the people want to know.
No, they don't. No one wants to know that.
Just you, weirdo.
Okay.
Did you?
So yeah, I had another question.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've been on Queen Sugar now, Luke Cage. I believe you're also on Underground, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
I did an episode of
Okay.
Underground.
So like maybe to the average viewer, you sort of blown up out of nowhere because you're like really hot right now. So if you wouldn't mind to sort of maybe describe your journey, where you've been through, what you've been working on, because it's really quite an amazing story, and it's like kudos to you. So if you want to maybe let our listeners know a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to hear that you blew up overnight,
Right.
especially when
Been
when
working.
you've done this for so long, and in this industry, you're invisible for a long time until you're not
Yeah.
invisible. And so when I was in my 20s last year,
Okay.
I was ready to move to, I was from New York, and so I was ready to move to LA like every actor, trying to live the dream. And so I moved to LA, and I hit the pavement running. I studied. I was in every acting class you could think about, every workshop. I had every different headshot.
Yeah.
Hustling.
Hustling. I was building a reel, and I wasn't really getting anything because, you know, so many people and so many actors in the bigger cities that you kind of get lost in the shuffle. But it didn't matter because I just knew I couldn't quit. I didn't want to quit. It wasn't a day that I didn't read a script. It wasn't a day that I didn't read a book. It wasn't a day that I didn't wake up and grind and say, what can I do towards my career today?
Right.
And so with that said, I kind of researched where the industry was going and where everything was filming. And at some point, I realized New Orleans and the Southeast, they were starting to have so many films and different projects happening. So, of course, I did my submissions for agencies out in New Orleans. And before you know it, I was able to acquire an agent.
Nice.
And I just started getting these auditions, and people started to see me in that region. So I moved from LA to New Orleans and just started auditioning. I got in a room, and I just started booking. My first gig actually was underground.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
underground,
amazing.
yeah. And they always say it's who you know, and you got to get to know the casting directors. And I never believed that. I'm like, whatever. But that one casting director, Megan Lewis, I owe my career to her because she was actually the one who booked me on Queen Sugar and booked me on the next few projects that I actually was able to book. And
shout out Megan Lewis.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Megan Lewis. And that's really it. It's not an easy journey.
Right.
You know, no one cares about the hard work. No one cares about all the no's and all the rejections, but it's about the reward at the end.
Yeah.
And this part is really cool because now I'm on 2 amazing shows that are just
amazing,
hitting it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
congratulations.
Awesome.
That is really a great story.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to more, and I'm going to continue to grind. This is exciting, but you know, I take it in moments, and then I'm like, all right, what's next?
Exactly.
I still got work to do. You know, I still got to catch up to the seasoned actors and all these other great people. So
that's the right mindset to have.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to like seeing where you go and keeping up with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to let you go since it's so late for you. We really enjoyed having you on the show, and thank you for all your insight. And I mean, I think from now on, the boys are going to be a lot nicer to Roberta when they're talking about her in our post-game discussions over here.
We'll see how
y'all better watch that talk behind the scenes.
You're right.
Because see, Roberta don't play. She's going to come through the screen and pop y'all in the head one of these days.
Please don't.
Don't let me bring that Aisha out.
I love it. Well, let everyone know one more time where they can find you on Twitter and Instagram so that all the fans can go follow you.
Awesome. You can find me on Twitter at Ninja Devoe, and then on Instagram it's Ninja Dope Devoe.
All right, so make sure you guys go follow her. I can't wait to see what is next for you, Ninja, and thank you again so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank y'all.
And tell Tim I said hi.
All right.
Okay.
Inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
All right, that was fun.
Yeah.
She's so
She's
sweet.
It's awesome. I know. It makes me really I love Roberta. Now I'm like, I can't be
right?
mad
Yeah.
at Roberta.
Now I love
anymore.
Roberta.
I can't be mad
It's
at
not
Roberta.
Roberta's fault,
It's not.
guys. She's the victim here. So
nice.
we
Awesome.
talked about Roberta and Ralph Angel. Let's talk about what's going on with Blue.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
He's coloring.
he's coloring.
His artistic skills have gone up another level this
Blue
episode.
is what? 5, like 6,
5,
7?
kindergarten,
I don't know.
first grade,
I don't
kindergarten.
know kids' ages.
That's true.
I don't
Let's
have
say
any.
5 to 7. Let's go
At
with
any
that.
rate, who is
4 to 7.
Do you expect him to be like Picasso, just drawing these amazing?
Did you not see that picture that he was
I
working
thought
on?
it was a really good picture.
Yeah.
I can't draw people that
I
look
still
like
can't
that.
color like
I
that.
thought-
I
You were
draw
knocking
stick
this.
figures.
Still to this day.
Yes.
So
And I put a little triangle dress on the girls, just like the
Just so you
bathroom thing,
know.
just
So
so
you
I
don't get
know.
confused.
Or I
Got
do
it.
really curly hair.
Right.
It's stringy and thin.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. The guys that get a couple little, like
Little
a little
flakes. Yeah.
flake there.
The
and-
hairs.
Yeah, the little mohawk thing.
No, it was so great seeing Blue back. So sweet. He just brings like a different element. Like this whole episode, I found myself, minus towards the end, I just found myself smiling. There were so many just sweet moments, and there was just like a happy a happy episode.
Were we watching the same episode?
I don't know about that. I feel like
With Remy and Charley, with Nova and her girl, with Nova and her nephew. I thought there were just so many nice moments.
Okay, so were you blacking out the fact that Vi isn't signing over?
Or the fact that because caught Hollywood in his drama.
Okay, I said besides the end, and I don't mind that Violet is not giving over custody to Ralph Angel because he doesn't deserve that.
But what about what we found out about
Darla. Dear Darla.
I mean, we knew she was in a bad place, but now it all makes more sense of why he is so angry with her about what she did and why he does not trust her with his son. Because regardless of what he did, which we still don't know exactly what he did to get put in jail, it wasn't having a dehydrated baby who you were having sex over and
that's wild.
Neglecting.
Neglecting.
That was nuts.
It was not abandonment, but it also kind of reminded me of that one song. What would you do if your kid was at home crying all alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry and the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money and his daddy's gone?
He was gone.
Hey, he was.
Someone smoking. I mean, he was in jail.
But he wasn't doing drugs or anything that we know of. But it just reminded me of that
City
song.
High?
Yes, it was. And I don't know why that song popped into my head.
City High as if City High. What else does City High do?
Well, they had that.
They had another one.
Yeah,
that was the continuation of that song.
And they had a special, an A&E special where one of the members fell into alcoholism, and there was a whole
an A&E special.
Yeah. You never saw that?
I don't
think I had
because there was a love triangle, and one of the guys got his heart broken. He fell into alcoholism and depression, and it was a whole thing on A&E, I think. Or all right, anyways.
I'm assuming VH1 behind the music.
Maybe VH1.
That makes more sense.
Okay.
But
Queen Sugar was
Queen Sugar.
Sorry.
I did. That was a side.
But so Darla.
Yes.
And all of this stuff that's happened, I understand Vi's point of, look, last week you could have gone back to jail. His parole officer came over and said that those guys at the warehouse are getting 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And if Vi had signed back over custody of Blue, he would automatically go back with his mom because the courts don't know, which my question is, why didn't we tell the courts?
Right.
Yeah.
Why didn't we tell?
But see, this could be a prediction for later, but I'll save it for predictions. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Why not
I
tell the
get it.
courts?
It's family, and so you find her like this, you're just gonna take control of the situation,
Right,
and
'cause you don't
we
wanna
don't
make it worse.
need to involve
everything out there.
police and everything, and all of our personal business because I think that is the black family mentality.
Yeah.
This is our business, we'll handle it internally.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that, but now it's coming back to kind of bite them because when everyone's asking about Darla, there's no paper trail of how terrible of a mother she was.
And Blue had to have been very young because he clearly has no memory of it.
None.
So I guess we are led to assume that he had to be baby.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, I miss my mom, and I feel like I cannot imagine missing someone if you were old enough to have a traumatic experience.
You know what? I have some cousins, and it took them a long time to get to the point of them not wanting their mom, even because
they didn't know.
It's it's your mom. So even though you're in this terrible situation, you either have blocked it out or you don't realize that it's an unsafe situation when you're that young.
That's true.
And then it's the more and more that like their mother let them down was finally when they were like, okay, we're done. We're done.
I guess instinctually, we need our mothers, like just on a basic human level. We do
and I'm glad how
desire that
they
attention,
did not
so.
introduce that element of Darla's backstory in the beginning, because it
Yeah.
sort of lets you maybe want to be on her side a little bit, because maybe from Blue's perspective it's just her mother, but now that we know all these details, it's a bit more dicey.
And all that we've seen of her is her trying to be
her
a
best.
good mother.
Yeah, we were like,
so,
oh, why is Ralph so hard on her?
And
But now we know.
Now we know. And Vi ain't playing. She's not giving you custody.
Yeah, and
so
I
you
honestly,
really prove.
I don't blame her. I agree.
Yeah,
I don't blame her for not, because I mean
What has he shown? All right, here we go. What has he shown us this season that makes you think he deserves to have full custody?
I don't think he deserves to have full custody, but
Right.
I do think he deserves to have shared custody or some sort of custody of his son right now.
I can give you that.
And I don't understand why it's one or the other, and it's not some sort of, okay, let's take it to the court and let me start getting more responsibility slowly to build my way back up to full custody.
Fair. I can give you share joint custody. I can give you that.
Yeah,
And
I mean, when the parole officer's like, Blue has his own room here, why? He shouldn't be staying here. I was like, I mean, he can't have a sleepover
Right?
with his
Yeah,
father?
that was very weird. I was like, you're being
Like,
quite
as the
harsh
legal
on this,
guardian,
sir.
he's not allowed to stay nowhere else?
Right. Exactly.
And was anyone else nervous? Like, I felt so bad, or like when he was questioning him about the warehouse, I was like, oh, this is. And I was very nervous.
He held
for
his
Ralph
nerve.
Angel.
He held his
Well,
nerve.
I just was,
He knows.
he
some.
knows. There's no way he doesn't know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that just makes me nervous for him in the future because
I
think-
was happy that we learned, because I didn't pick this up from the last episode, that the warehouse had been raided as well. I thought someone
told on Ralph.
Yeah, I thought someone told on
Oh,
Ralph,
got
and so
you.
that's why his house was
right.
picked on. But then he explains, no, the whole warehouse was raided, and that's why the police came and checked here.
Got you.
And those guys are all going to jail, and they
5 to
all,
10 years.
So that's what made it,
Don't do
even
crime,
more
kids.
suspicious for this guy. He's like, okay, Mr. Jarvis is like, I'm not stupid. You conveniently were laid off,
right?
and the
at
next
same
day,
time.
the same day, like hours later,
Yeah.
there's a raid on the place.
That don't make sense. Yeah, I mean,
Like something doesn't add
especially
up.
like when you like talking to a parole officer who has dealt with criminals for X amount of years, like they're not stupid when it comes to criminal activity.
Yeah.
So like they know. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what.
Yeah,
Ralph
so the
does.
last little bit about my dear beloved
Yeah, you
Ralph
love
Angel,
Your dear.
too.
is he needs a full-time job now. He needs something with a pay stub, health benefits, a 401k, which I'm sorry,
dental.
I don't even have that kind of job. I don't have health benefits.
you're not on parole.
And I'm not on parole right now, but I get a pay stub that shows
Right.
that I worked every day.
It's hard out here for
That's what I
parolees.
said.
Yes.
That's why so many go back to jail, but that's another story.
Yeah,
Ava
that's
knows
a
what she's
whole
doing.
different thing.
Watch the 13th.
But Charley is, all up in her own feelings, which we're going to get into her and her
Yeah, she's so selfish.
need to separate things later. But she's like, no, why is everyone trying to take from me?
She's.
Why would you be a co-owner and make money?
She didn't even want to listen to Ralph, and it's like if you.
Well, was that before or after she found out about the $10,000?
That was
That was after. So I mean,
she was already on one
I get
at that
where
point.
she's coming.
Yeah,
but,
she was already on one,
but
but
from Ralph's perspective, it's like you're my sister. Like, granted, Ralph should have explained then and there why he
She
did it,
didn't
why
give
he
him a
left.
chance.
She didn't. No, I agree. She didn't. But like at the same time, maybe Ralph. I was like, that's your sister. Like, and you would expect them to want to help you out. Like, just like
Yeah, but her
okay.
other sister just took $10,000
I mean, I get
from
it.
her, so
I
she's
understand
not
why
in
she
the
did.
right.
he's asking.
Yeah, he did.
But this
And
is
I'm
again,
thinking-
this is the thing with the judgment with Ralph Angel. Maybe the time to ask about a full-time job wouldn't be when your sister had just confronted your other sister about $10,000 being stolen from her bank account, and be like, "Oh, by the way, sorry that happened. Also, I need you to make me a full-time employee, give me all these insurance benefits. Maybe you could have waited."
But his
For-
parole officer
I
said he needs
understand.
one
Yeah, he was
ASAP.
just trying
so
he was just trying to cover himself.
I love what Vi said to Charley when she was talking, and it was something along the lines of, everything isn't as it seems. Or you don't know everything from the surface. So she doesn't know what's going on with him and his. She doesn't even know that he was laid off. He doesn't know how much stress she's going under. He probably doesn't know that she's paid $3 million for this lady to go away with her
Yeah, 'cause she's a
husband's
lot
case.
hush.
She didn't give him a chance to explain. It could have, all she said was, you're supposed to get paid at the end. So why aren't we working out a deal of like, okay,
let's
if
start this
if
now.
I'm paying you now, it will be
take that.
deducted
From the
from
end.
whatever
Yeah.
is supposed to come to
Simple.
you at the end. It's a simple fix.
solution. Yeah.
But I understand. So we're getting into Charley now. She's
Okay.
going through all of this stuff. She's got, her husband, she's done with him now for sure.
Yeah, we didn't even see him this episode.
No, he's gone.
Okay.
For right
For
now.
now.
Yeah,
For
I'm
now.
saying for now. We'll
For
see.
now, he's
He'll be
gone.
back at some point.
Nova stole $10,000 from her. People need money from her all the time. She's writing all these checks, so she's stressed and
She's a little frazzled.
going crazy. She's like everything is literally dropping at her feet. She's
Because she
losing
was this
control
prim
of
and
everything.
proper, like, especially coming from what her life used to be. Because she seems to be type A, and like everything, all her ducks are always in a row, and she probably is not used to having this chaos around her. So now that this is happening, she doesn't know how to handle it. And I mean, maybe it's just me, and I might be being harsh, but I feel like she's being a bit dramatic and a bit selfish. Like, I get that she's going through a lot, but like other people's lives do not stop when you are going through drama, and like I feel like she is losing sight of that because her acting that way to Nova, although Nova was in the wrong, crazy, and then to come back and then go off on Micah, it was like, whoa, like Micah's going through a lot too. Like, this is
supposed to
his
sit in the
dad.
house all
Yeah,
day?
like, get out.
Minus Micah, I feel like Charley is justified in all of her reactions. To be fair, I mean, what she's going through is pretty traumatic. And someone taking $10,000 out of your bank account, I don't care who it is. Me and my mama, we still gonna have like a talk. Like that's not right. Yeah. Like that's not cool. So I understand. I feel like her reactions are a little bit more justified. With Micah, she was just like on full tilt. Yeah, she was wilding. But
I understand her reactions, and I do think that she is reacting in a way that seems normal, but at the same time, just because you can react that way doesn't mean you should. At the end of the day, you are an adult.
Right.
And you shouldn't be behaving like a child.
Right.
And I get that she's been this tightly wound, perfect, like, robot, person out in LA for all these years. And literally, the yarn is all unraveling, and she doesn't know how to pick up the pieces. Yeah. So if that's what you need, then you need to find a way to express that to people in a way that they understand. That you can be, hey, I need a minute. I'm going to close myself up in this room. Leave me alone for just a minute. And let me get my head back on straight.
Throw on some Badu.
Cry, get a bottle of wine. Like, it's all going to be okay, baby. We got you.
Like, I feel like none of the children have really had a chance to even properly grieve their father. They've just been like going nonstop since then. So that could add another element to it.
Speaking of Charley and Micah, would you guys tell your kid if, so say your spouse cheats on you, even if it was in a public way or in like a dramatic way, what would you tell your kid?
I'm a very petty person.
She's on tell.
And I'm not a mother or a wife at this point in my life. So at this point, at my age, in this moment right now, hell yeah, I'm going to tell that kid. Because you're not going to hate me because I'm not because your dad isn't around. Like,
this ain't my fault.
This ain't my fault.
You don't have to do that.
But, 5, 10, 20 years from now when I have a kid and a husband, I might have a different point of view on it. But me right now, this is the life I know.
Lay it all up there.
I'm not going to get blamed for someone else's bullshit.
Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. They got to know. Depending on the age, I'm going to say like 10 or above, they can know. 10 or young. Yeah. All right, maybe 8.
No, I'm not judging.
I think he wanted you to go higher than 10.
No, kids are very mature these days. Like, they can work a computer better than I can. Like, they're very smart. So I definitely let them know. They have a right to know. I would give them, obviously, not the nitty-gritty details of it.
Here's
but
the tape. Here's a sex tape.
There was a betrayal. Mommy lied to daddy, something along those lines, and it's just not gonna work out anymore. But yeah, I would let them know.
Micah's older, and we live in a digital age where his father is a public figure. So even if you're not telling him things, he's on the internet reading the absolute worst case scenarios of everything about his father.
She kind of has to tell him.
Yeah. So at this point, for his mental peace of mind, you have to give him something so that he's not just reading comments on blogs and stuff, thinking his father is this
rapist,
horrible, terrible person. Which his dad is a bad guy.
But monster.
He's not a rapist.
He's not a rapist, which she did let him know. No, he did not rape that girl. Yeah. But this is what he's been doing for the past
just a scumbag,
3 years.
Just locker room
Micah
talk.
says he doesn't.
He's just having locker room talks. Just saying he is.
No.
Locker room talk. No. Locker room activity.
But no, yeah. So, I mean, I was just wondering. But one nice moment that Charley had was when Remy was like, 2 moments actually. He had two moments with
Remy. Hey.
He was there.
And when those moments happened, our co-host rolled his eyes heavily.
Sure did. Not into it. Because I'm just waiting.
He's still waiting for that whole
I'm like, it's not
their brother-sister thing to happen, which isn't happening.
Okay, now okay.
All right, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I'm just saying. I agree for the sake of the show. It was sweet that they had a moment and he was like calming her down, and then later he has another conversation with her and he starts to kind of break down about his own grief with his wife. So it's just interesting to see where.
I know when he said, "I'm sorry for all the people who can't say they're sorry." How many people, right?
Sorry, that was a clap, and I clapped right in the microphone. I'm so sorry for the audio listeners.
Like, I felt that. Like, how many people would love to have that person come into their life and just be like, "I'm sorry for all those people, those no good people who just won't give you that gratification."
Apologized for the world for all the wrong that has come to her. How can that not just be like, take me now?
Because
I'm ready.
Not real. That don't happen. That's not life. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't want
that is my life.
I'm just saying.
My fantasy. This is why I'm single, because I think that's how life's supposed to be.
You're gonna find your Prince Charming.
Thank you. It'll be 50 years from now, but that's fine.
Please. I'm just saying. I don't want you all to have your hearts broken reaction when he finally reveals that he is her brother.
I just want you to have your heart broken when it's revealed that he's not in any way related to them.
Weirdest prediction I've ever
he's
heard.
really holding on. Like, it's episode 7. I thought by now we would be over this.
Show.
But every show.
He's like, nah.
He's you're just anti-love and anti-Remy. I think you're anti-Remy.
Maybe. Possibly.
No, didn't you say you were anti-love earlier today?
I think I might be.
But he's totally okay with Nova's love.
No, not true.
Yes, I am so okay with Nova's love.
Okay,
Are we moving to Nova?
We can't. Let's go on into Nova. I'm not okay with her love. I still feel like it's random. Like, I feel
why is it random?
Because
as
I'm
opposed
like,
to...
you build all of this, like, so why even have Calvin? I mean, I'm assuming that that's going to come into something later because he won't stop.
People can date more than one person at a time.
I get it, but I just feel like this feels forced. It feels so forced to me.
This is someone that she's crossed paths with in the past.
Instant connection.
connection.
She feels free for the first time.
She did.
In a very long time.
How beautiful was that morning scene? You guys have woken up some mornings and just been like, hey, you want to get some breakfast? You want to get something to eat?
No.
Because you have those people that you have in the morning, and you have those people like, oh, I got to go to work, so maybe it's time for you to go. So it was like kind of beautiful.
Which one are you?
I'm saying, well.
It depends on the person, you know. Both.
I'm always get out. I'm always like.
And see, this is what you're anti-love.
I am always, I mean, like, get out before the sun comes up. I'm like, I am either out before they wake up, or I'm like, hey, you don't gotta go home, but
you gotta get the hell up out of here.
No,
I thought it was sweet.
It's a cold world where you live.
I'm just saying.
They're eating, gardening together, smoking herbs. I just love it. I'm down. I'm really down with their relationship. I think it's kind of cool.
And this is a very generalized statement, and so I'm prefacing it with that. But some lesbian couples do move this fast.
Oh, really?
It's, one day you meet, the next day you're inseparable. I've witnessed it. I have lots of friends, and they always joke about it. They're like, yep, that's lesbian relationships are like 10 times the speed of a normal relationship.
Well, then maybe that makes more. Maybe it, like, in that context, it makes more sense to me. I was like, this feels very fast, very rushed, very forced. But through that lens, because I mean, obviously, I've never been in a lesbian relationship, but like that makes more sense.
Just my friends who have, that's something that is our running joke of like, wait, who are you dating? Like, who's this girl? Didn't you guys just meet last night? Yeah, well, she moved in yesterday too. And
oh wow, oh dang.
Not really that quick. That's like the joke of it, So maybe that could have something to do with it. But also when you
that's
find
not everyone, as she said.
Yeah, it's not everyone. It's a very generalized thing. And as we move forward with this, like, they have such a strong connection. If they're feeling it, like,
I feel their energy.
You just kind of go with it. I don't even know where. I forget her name, the new girl's name, but I don't even know what her plans were for that day. But it didn't seem like she had any, because it was like, hey, let's go check out this artist down in New Orleans.
Which is really cool. Cool shout out to the BLM movement. Like, that was cool to see all that art. I was like, wow,
the art was
really,
amazing.
Really good.
Shout out Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin.
Mike Brown, Oscar Grant.
There were quite a few. But no, I mean, it was just really cool to see that that moment. But we also find out later in the episode that Calvin will not stop calling Nova. And
well, once you go black, you know what they say.
That's true. That is.
I'm trying to tell y'all, that's just a reality.
But
we're not making this up.
He's leaving his wife, so that's interesting. And Charley. Well, I mean, that's what they always say. You're right.
They always say it, and they say it for years.
But the thing is, Charley hears this, and she's pissed about it. She's like, oh, so now you're dating somebody? And you're dating a married man after all I'm going through?
Well, because Nova judged the whole situation super hard.
She did.
Yeah.
Not at the time, and I don't even think my mind kind of went through of like, wait a second, you're judging Davis for having this extramarital affair when you are the other woman on the other side of this
and the
scenario.
Same scene.
You're just not getting paid.
You flip. In this breath, you are judging me when you are committing this crime.
Yeah, you are Goldie, just without all the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
He called her Goldie.
She is.
In the respective relationships of what's happening, she's Goldie.
100%.
Fair enough.
Because her and Calvin have been together for a very long time. This is not something that's new, and she is very aware that he is married and has a family.
Glass houses.
Right. As the good book says, judge not. Yes. be judged.
Let's not
When you want to quote the great book, maybe you should know the great book.
Oh Lord, let us
in church
pray
all
for
the
Amari.
That was it.
Pray.
Wow, no, okay.
Lest ye be judged.
Okay, so now we have to get into the worst part of this episode because
Love
I
is dead.
just got done telling somebody how Hollywood is my boy and how I love him and how like great he is on this show.
He is. He was.
And how great him and Vi are, and then Leanne shows up and ruins everything.
How many good moments did Hollywood and Vi have in this episode?
Several.
Right
Every
before
episode.
that happened, you're just like
something was gonna happen.
Just like,
Yeah, they were
oh,
too
this
happy.
is so
Well,
happy.
and then the way he was acting with Micah, because Micah finds out, and like that was all sketchy, and I was like, I don't like the way you're being so aggressive with Micah, almost like not like physically aggressive, but like it was like. It's almost as if he was like a hit dog, like, cause he was very panicky and like, well, like, and then even when Vi was talking to him, he was like on it, and it's just like, to me, I'm like, if you are doing something that is not wrong, you don't act that way.
Right.
And so like, I know that he is like saying, yeah, it was for insurance and stuff like that, but I feel like there has to be something else there because he's acting as if he has done something wrong.
Shout out to Micah too. Like this was the first time when he stood up to Hollywood for his aunt. I was like, okay.
I thought he was gonna get hit when he
No,
was talking. I was so scared for Micah because when he was talking to Hollywood, I was like, Micah.
No, Hollywood, he wouldn't do that. I was just proud of Micah for finally showing like some backbone and being like
fed up,
loyal to his family. I was like, yeah, that's right. Showing the signs of a young man there. That was good.
Good.
Yeah. It was nice
before
to see
he
him.
seems like kind of like weak and like, Mom, Dad, what's going on?
And he almost seems like he doesn't want to be part of this part of the family. You know how most people have like that side of the family that they don't really want to associate with? It kind of felt for a while that Micah was very standoffish with a lot of the family. It's like, does he have a relationship with these people? Does he see them often? What's really going on here? So to see him really stand up for Vi was nice. A beautiful moment. I also felt terrible for Hollywood because the way this all went down, he hasn't even been home for a full day. So even if we're giving him the benefit of the doubt that he was going to come clean with her, especially after Micah found out, if he was, he's not going to do it in the middle of a party. So he could have been waiting to tell her.
I agree. I feel very conflicted about this because like you said, it's like he really didn't ever get the chance to truly confess. And it's like, yes, he was doing something wrong, but like, kind of was he? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that he was married and he should have told Vi, but I also understand why he would hide that. Because it wasn't like, at least to our knowledge, it was a romantic thing or a physical thing.
So
it was
had
strictly
he been upfront from the beginning of his relationship with Vi, it wouldn't have been a problem.
And I get it, but at the same time, you know, that's hard. Like, I feel like, would you date, like, if someone goes, oh, I'm still married, I feel like Violet would be like, I'm out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think had he said, I'm still
that.
married, my ex-wife or my wife is bipolar, she needs me to be there for her insurance, I feel like Vi would have understood.
I feel like that sounds like a lot of drama up front, and I'll be out.
It feels like, because Vi wasn't surprised when he said ex-wife. And I know that he is still technically married. So it seems like he might have told Vi that he was married and that he's now divorced.
Right.
So that part, okay, whatever. And then you get into the part about, okay, well, no, she's saying he's still married. What's true, and him just trying to explain everything, and he came clean so quick and so fast that's why I also felt bad. I was like, I love that Vi gave him the opportunity to speak because a lot of times women just, you know, go crazy and they're screaming over you. He can't get a word in, kind of what we saw with Charley and Ralph Angel earlier. So I love that she gave him the opportunity to try to explain himself. I think it's still going to take, you know, a little bit of time because she was like, you don't need to come back here.
And it makes me sad because I'm like, I really do like them. And I honestly, ultimately, I feel like they'll end up. I don't think that's over.
He'll be back, I think.
So, yeah.
I don't think it's over.
No.
But it did break my heart a little bit. And then you hear, you know, one thing Vi didn't know about was that they had a miscarriage. So he, you know, has a baby. And, you know, just Leanne's like going crazy and there's a party happening. There's so much happening.
A
lot of awkwardness.
Drama-filled scene. Could you imagine being like one of the guests at that party? Just like,
Should we go? We should leave,
Like,
no,
right?
watching this. No,
we
sit
should
down.
This feels like a person.
Yeah, we should probably go, but like, ooh, it's really. Is it rude to leave right now? Because then you're gonna think we're leaving because of this.
I'm live on Facebook right now.
Yeah. Imagine being the guest who left right before it happened and finding out the next day. Oh man!
I knew I should have stayed.
Yeah.
I always stay for
better.
one more song. One more song.
One
That's
more
the
song.
rule.
One more song.
Just one more song.
Okay, let's quickly give some predictions. We have let's do that.
Couple minutes.
We've got a couple minutes left.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
I thought I wrote down.
I have a
stuff.
couple of predictions actually.
Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna cut you off, and I'm gonna say we're gonna preface this with next week. There's no new episode because of the presidential debate, so no Queen Sugar show next week. So this is predictions for 2 weeks from now. But next week they are doing a mini marathon of the episodes
so
that we've seen thus far, so you can catch up, rewatch, do whatever you love. All right, now Ryan has some predictions.
Yes. So we saw the parole officer come in today, and I feel like the fact that those guys got 5 to 10 years, they're going to try to get plea deals out of it because Ava DuVernay has a documentary, The 13th, watch it, and it talks about kind of the criminal system, and I feel like that's going to come into play, and I feel like those guys are going to rat out Ralph Angel and try to pin it on him, and he is going to jail, or at least to trial, because that's going to come back to bite him in the butt, and there's no way they brought that up for no reason.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I just feel like 5 to 10 years.
I almost feel like he's in the clear with that one.
Yeah,
feel like-
what evidence is there
I feel
against
like
him?
that's done, sort of.
that we know of. But I'm saying like the criminal.
Because there would be no video of him carrying those. Everything that he
we know
had
that?
was put there by someone else, so he never took anything. So there's no video camera evidence of that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to like argue with your prediction. I'm
No,
just,
that's
I guess
fine.
I am
Let's
going to
argue it
with
down.
Yeah, I guess I am going to argue with it actually.
Wow.
I'm just saying
Whatever.
it's a bunch of criminals' words against another criminal, and I don't think that word of mouth is enough evidence to take him to trial for it.
Well, fine. No more predictions.
No, we're not trying to
No, it's
dissuade
cool.
you.
Whatever. You
I
guys,
mean,
what are your
I
predictions?
want to keep your creative juices going.
I do. I think it's gonna happen, so it's fine.
I want to predict something. I need to know what's going to go on with Too Sweet.
Oh,
He
yeah,
paid
we
for his
have-
bail, so he should be out of jail. Where did he go if he's out? Because it seems like she's one of the only people that he has in his
Right.
life. So
Yeah.
where's Too Sweet?
Maybe back on the. I hope he's.
They could have mentioned that at some point tonight. You
I
would
mean, you
think.
mentioned paying $10,000 for his ass to get out of jail,
Right.
which he better show up for the hearing so that we can get that money back.
Yeah.
But
Maybe he's on the run. There's a prediction for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
I don't think this is gonna shock anybody, but I'm calling next episode Remy and Charley hook up.
yes.
I think next episode is gonna happen.
Or
Those moments they had in this episode tonight, they were too sweet, too endearing, too personal, too vulnerable. I definitely see it happening very soon. If not next week, well, not next week, but in 2 weeks, it'll definitely be 3 weeks. So we'll see.
Awesome. Well, make sure you guys let us know what your predictions are. Where can everyone find you on the Twitterverse to converse?
You can find me on Twitter and IG at OnWithOmari, and also on Snapchat at OmariB.
and you can find me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's Graham and on Instagram at Instagram.
And you can find AfterBuzz TV all over the interwebs at AfterBuzz TV. Check out all the after shows that we do. We're all on other panels as well, so make sure you guys check us out there. You can find me at the Tiana Hobson. And in 2 weeks when we're back, we have a very special guest coming in the studio. Ralph Angel himself will be here to defend himself in front of these
God, I wonder what we're gonna
people
say to
over
him.
here.
We got
It
some
will
questions
be
for you, Ralph
my side
Angel.
versus their side. So make sure you guys come back in 2 weeks for the next Queen Sugar
Let's
after
thank our
show.
guest for tonight, too.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and thank you again to Ninja Devoe for
you.
Thank
talking to us. And make sure you follow her at Ninja Devoe on Twitter, and Ninja Dope
Dope
Devoe
Devoe
on
on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.